Who's the best player in the NBA?
Kobe Bryant.
Better than you?
I would have to say right now. He's a really, really good player. Individually, he has some of the best skills that the NBA has ever seen in history. And he's shown year after year after year why he continues to be one of the best players in our league. I'm getting better.
Kobe Bryant, and one guy's certainly envious of the way Bryant's played lately, LeBron James.
I scratch my head every time I hear the name Kobe Bryant right now, and I try to get a dictionary and try to find a word that what he's doing right now, and I'm just lost for words. I mean, he's amazing. I've been quoted saying that he's definitely the best player in our league. To me, in my eyes, the best scorer in our league, and it's unbelievable. I don't know if it's not another guy in this league that can accomplish some of the things that he's doing right now.
Well, in Cleveland this past week. So let me ask both of you. Kobe, you start. Tell me how you see LeBron's game developing after just going up against him this week.
I mean, he's an incredible player. I think, his size and, his mesh with his quickness and his leaping ability, his passing ability, his shooting ability. I think he's a tremendous all-around player.
LeBron, how's Kobe doing these days?
Well, like I've been quoted in the past, and I will continue to be quoted, I think he's the best player in our league right now. What he's able to do offensively and defensively is, it's unbelievable. And I look up to a guy like Kobe Bryant just because of what he's able to do every night he goes out on the basketball court. So, once again, I'm quoted again saying that Kobe Bryant is the best player in our league.
You will know when you win in that one-on-one with LeBron.
That's what I think. One-on-one is that's easy for me. That's just like playing one-on-one is that's how I grew up playing. That's like my thing. LeBron is it's more like a Magic Johnson would say. He's a great passer. He plays all around the game. I think at the core of me, I'm a one-on-one player. I do that in my sleep.
Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Video footage. The media can lie, but history does not lie. It's a wrap, folks. The whole Michael Jordan, LeBron GOAT debate is fabricated. It's fake. It never happened. It was a lie. And the only GOAT debate it really was between Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant. Because the only person that came close to mimicking and acting like Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant. Right? Let's take it back real quick before we talk about LeBron James. In 97, 98, the torch was getting passed to Kobe from Michael Jordan. The media said this. Most of your players said this. And the LeBron fans don't tell me about, oh, man, there wasn't no torch being passed. This is known in history, guys. Just because LeBron never got the torch passed, we can't help it. But the torch was passed from Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell to who? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it was basically passed. And this really doesn't have to do with championships. To have a torch passed, you guys, has to do with dominance, greatness, who was the greatest player at that time. It has nothing to do with championships. It can, but it has nothing to do with championships, right? Just because you won more championships than a guy, that doesn't mean you was better than him. We look at the overall picture where you dominant as a player too. Okay, it's not just about championships. So that from Kareem, that torch coming into the 80s was pretty much passed to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And then that torch was passed to Michael Jordan. And a lot, we kind of leave Larry Bird out, and they say that it was passed from Magic to Michael Jordan. And that was just because Magic just kept going, man. Magic was in the finals in 91 without Kareem and stuff like that. That's what was so brilliant about it. We knew that Magic Johnson held his own. This guy had 3 MVPs, 3 MVPs and 3 finals MVPs, if I'm mistaken, playing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How about that, folks? And we'll talk about that in a minute, the difference between him and Kobe Bryant, right? And when we come to the end of Michael Jordan's career with the Bulls, and what we thought was going to be the end of his career, period, was the torch being passed to Kobe Bryant. right? In 97, 98, all we heard from the media, the torch was being passed to Kobe Bryant, whether they played, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant played against each other in the All-Star game or the regular season games, right? A bench player, guys, a bench player. You guys say Kobe wasn't nothing. The torch wasn't getting passed to Eddie Jones or Nick Van Exel or Grant Hill or Allen Iverson or who did I say, Kevin Garnett. These type of guys, it was getting passed to Kobe Bryant from Michael Jordan. Yes, all the other guys I mentioned, they were going to uphold the standard along with Kobe Bryant into the future and carry the NBA into the next century. And in the face of Shaq, right? When you guys, oh yeah, Shaq carried Kobe. Can you guys tell us why that torch wasn't getting passed to Shaq? Right? It wasn't getting passed to Shaq. It was right in Shaq's face. The torch was getting passed to Kobe. Okay, don't give me nothing. Oh, he won 3 Finals MVPs. Yes, he did against nobody. You're gonna throw the only great center was Mutombo, right? But Mutombo couldn't challenge him on offense, and he could barely hold Shaq on defense. So what are you gonna throw the ball to Kobe 50% of the time and throw the ball to Shaq 50% of the time? No, you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna go ahead and get those easy wins through Shaq. That's it. Nobody can stop this guy. Now, that was against the East. Now against the West, from championships 2 and 3, basically it went through Kobe because the center competition was better in the West in the playoffs. So Kobe, to me, was more dominant championships 2 and 3 in the playoffs than Shaq. Y'all remember, Shaq, he wasn't getting dominated, but they was playing him pretty good, right? And especially in those Western Conference Finals, whether it was a lot of time it was the Spurs, Sacramento, Portland, teams like that. He wasn't dominating these guys in all them series. And the X factor most of the time was Kobe Bryant on the perimeter. So we just want to put that story out there. And the torch was going to get passed to LeBron James. Nobody knew this in the future. Everybody thought, all these other guys was going to come along. I don't know. The torch can't get passed to everybody. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys that came after Kobe or with Kobe into the 2000s, they was going to challenge Kobe, his greatness. Does he deserve to be the next that Michael Jordan passed the torch to? Your Vince Carters, your Grant Hills, your Allen Iversons, your Tim Duncans, these guys like that. Truthfully, they never did it. And we're going to tell you why in a minute. So you can see it right here. In many interviews, LeBron exposed himself. And I'm not saying he exposed himself. Then he was telling the truth. But now he exposes Unclutched Sports, that's what I call them, Unclutched Sports, the media, and all these people that now say that Kobe Bryant isn't better than LeBron James. And we could have put more clips up, and we could have put up clips of the media saying this. But I didn't want to run the video too long. Let's see if they copyright me. If they copyright me, I'll probably leave it up maybe for a day or something like that. But, it's funny because other people can just play these same videos and they won't get a copyright strike. So even, like I said, even the media back in 97, 98 said Kobe was getting the torch passed to him. He was the next greatest player in the league. And we pretty much talked about that. So LeBron James comes along, and I think a lot of it had to do with them jumping on this guy's side because a lot of guys really didn't live up to that standard. I mean, you got to remember, by 2000, by the time LeBron came in the league, Kobe Bryant was on a different level, guys. He was on a different level as far as scoring and doing all this stuff. He was just on a different level. He basically defense. He had no flaws in his game, and that's why he wanted. And he was young. He was 21 years old when he won his first championship. And I think 24 or something after he won that three-peat. So it wasn't because of winning; it was because of his skill set that he worked hard to get these things, to achieve these things, to try to be like Michael Jordan. This guy was on another level in these games. It was ridiculous. So the media wanted a next. A lot of these guys really didn't live up to, these expectations. I don't think they did. The Vince Carters, okay. Um, Grant Hill got hurt. Tracy McGrady was in the league. I don't know. They wanted something more than what they had. Even though you had some good players in the league or something like that, but LeBron James was supposed to be this next freak athlete. And him not making the playoffs the first 2 seasons, when we look at it, why isn't that when the LeBron fans try to run their mouths and said Kobe had to sit on the bench? Well, Kobe had to sit on the bench because it was a tough era. And he didn't go to a bad team. A lot of these great players that get picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, they go to bad teams. Kobe got traded to a good team. He didn't go to the Hornets. And we'll talk about that too in a minute. So Kobe sitting on the bench for a couple seasons. You're trying to tell me that's not the equivalent of LeBron coming in and missing the playoffs in a weak East? A weak East. I would think it's the same thing. In the second season, he had an all-star teammate. So I don't know why that's not talk. I talk about that all the time. So LeBron, basically, he would have had to sit on the bench too. It was just a tougher era. I mean, maybe Kobe would not have, if he would have went to the Hornets. If he would have went to the Hornets, boom, he probably could have started, no problem. But he didn't want to go to that market. It was too small for him. And I know Jerry West got him traded over there, but still, if he wanted to go to a smaller market and start, he could have. So we see in the videos repeatedly that LeBron James, Kobe Bryant is the best player in the league. All through the 2000s. The best player in the league. And basically, he says because of his skills. And we're not just talking about offense. LeBron James is talking about defense, offense, and leadership, and hard work. These are characteristics and traits that some of the greats developed playing this game. And when we look at guys like Wilt Chamberlain, this is the real stat guy. We're not talking about somebody who can put up numbers that never win statistical titles. Okay? Wilt was on a whole different level with these stats. This was a real stat guy. This was a king of stats. Not LeBron James. You guys are fooled by this. Wilt Chamberlain was. And again, when we talk about hard work, dedication, no nonsense, this is Wilt Chamberlain, a student of the game. These people like this, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell. To me, these are the greatest players of all time that Kobe looked up to. It was interviews where Kobe said Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest player of all time. Right? And then he said 3 players are the greatest players of all time. Himself, Michael Jordan, and Wilt Chamberlain. And if you notice in these interviews, I think there was 2 interviews with LeBron and Kobe. I only put one on here. But Kobe never says that LeBron James is better than him or the greatest of all time or anything like that. He just says he's got a great all-around game. And in many interviews, he says that LeBron don't know why LeBron doesn't have that killer instinct. He's a pass-first guy. He's not talking about all game. He's talking about in the clutch. LeBron was, because LeBron don't want to be the bad guy. He don't want to be hated, and he don't like criticism. Now, folks, we can watch many interviews of LeBron James in the 2000s. This is a whole different guy than when he went to Miami. And why he went to Miami was because he knew he would never win a championship. Remember the decision, right? He said, this gives me my best chance not only to win a lot of playoff games, but a lot of championships. That's right. This is the only way, he said, he could win championships. Let me rephrase that. By cheating and doing it the wrong way and taking the easy way out was the only way he could win championships. And everybody knew. it was over then. That from then on, he was just going to be another number one franchise player playing with other number one franchise players that led a team to a championship. See how tough that was? He could only do it 2 times in 4 years in Miami. 2 times in 4 years, he could only do it 2 times to help other number ones win a championship. Not lead a team to a championship, folks. Not lead a team to a championship. Now, he could be the face of the team, right? That's all the media is telling you, that this guy is the face of the team. You can't be a leader to other number ones. You can't do that, folks. And he can't lead a team to a championship. That's out of it. We've never even seen that. But look how hard it was for him. Look how hard it was for him to be a number one amongst other number ones and still win championships. That's crazy. And it's been hard for him always. Even when he went to Cleveland, it was still hard to be a number one amongst other number ones and only won 1 championship. So now, do you really think this guy could ever, even in L.A., only 1 championship while people were sick and dying and the world was shut down, and he won that championship with other number ones. He didn't lead a team. He left his team. I don't care if he was there first in L.A. He left his team. And he left his team looking for other number ones, but he didn't get it the first year. So let's look at what Kobe Bryant did. Oh, in the last video, when they asked who will win between LeBron and Kobe, they asked Kobe that. And Kobe, he went smack off real fast. That's a dumb question. Basically, he didn't say this, but he's saying he will smoke LeBron. That's his thing. One-on-one, that's his thing. He said LeBron is a great passer. He ain't going to beat him one-on-one. Again, he's more like a Magic Johnson. And I would say more like a Magic Johnson in a weak defensive era, right? Because as far as passing, he ain't up there with Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, a lot of these guys. Steve Nash, John Stockton. No, ain't no way. So yeah, Kobe like, man. You remember, LeBron said Kobe has no flaws on offense. You heard the video. The guy pretty much has no flaws. So, I mean, that's wiping the LeBron fans' face in the doo-doo, the dog doo-doo, while they were saying Kobe was shooting 45% from the field. Slower pace era. And most of his shots were from the perimeter. A perimeter shot for LeBron for his career is 37%, folks. Guys forgot about that. So when was the GOAT debate over? Well, it never started. The Michael Jordan, LeBron GOAT debate never started. Never. Because LeBron has never been a great clutch player, a great stat player. That's Wilt Chamberlain. Never a good defensive player. Really never a good offensive player because he can't shoot or give you no paint work in terms of ball over at a high rate. Can't shoot free throws, can't shoot the mid-range, can't shoot the three. Good for his career. Build super teams and barely still wins playing with amongst other number ones. Never see the game 7 in all 6 finals blowouts. Where was the GOAT debate, folks? What does put Kobe Bryant in the GOAT debate is the fact that something LeBron never did. 2007, what happens? Kobe brings home bronze. Didn't he get bronze? Could have sworn he got bronze. I think it was 2007 he got bronze. After these fools couldn't even bring home bronze in the FIBA. So they brought home, Kobe brought home gold in the FIBA finally. And then 2008, he went to the finals. He got an all-star teammate, a Hall of Fame teammate. And I think, people got a question. Paul Gasol, if he doesn't go to LA, this is no Hall of Famer, guys. I think he might have made the all-star team one time before he came to LA. And yeah, so 2007, Kobe brings home the gold in the FIBA. 2008 goes to the finals with Paul Gasol. Yes, he loses. And then that same summer, what happens? He brings home gold. Finally, we bring home gold again, thanks to Kobe. And then the next year, what happens? Kobe goes to the finals again for the second time, but destroys LeBron's competition, while LeBron had the number 1 seed overall in the NBA. Not just the East, the NBA. And was the MVP. Next season, Kobe back in the finals for a third straight time. Third straight time with LeBron having the number 1 seed overall in the NBA and has the MVP again. Folks, LeBron gets beat for the second time, right? And this time by a number 4 seed. And I think Orlando was a number 3 seed the year before. So he never got beat by 2 or 3, 2 and 3. He got beat by a 3 and 4. Right? So Kobe now has to battle against 3 top 75 players, which they had a good team. But you guys got to remember, these guys were, when they first got together in 2008, they were 10 years plus in their career. Remember, a lot of these guys had to come over to the East just to make it competitive. That's how weak that East was. That's how weak the East was. Shaq came over there. I think Kevin Garnett came over there. I think Jason Kidd came over there. That East was pretty weak. And even with that, it was still in the 2000s. That East was the weakest since the 1950s. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant is battling his tail off to come out the West, right? And LeBron's just pretty much skating through the East. Tell you how bad it was. The Big Three Celtics, 10 years plus into their career. In 2008, LeBron plays them when they first came together, the Big Three Celtics. LeBron, he took them to a Game 7. Shooting, it was mind-blowing. It reminds you of the 2007 finals, 2008 playoffs against the Big Three Celtics. I think he shot like 38% from the field, like 29% from 3, 60-something% from the line, and almost 4 turnovers. It was, and he still took that team to a Game 7, folks. Imagine Michael Jordan shooting like that in a series back in the 90s. There's no way, folks. There's no way. There's no way. And he basically shot like that the year before in the finals. But guess what? He got blown off the floor. He should have got swept in 2008. But that's how weak that East was. And I'm just trying to tell you, I mean, the Big Three was good. Won championship in like 6 years together. Only won the conference once. That's what I try to tell you. It's a difference between a Big Three that's in their prime and a Big Three that's out of their prime. You take, who is this? Drexler, Hakeem, and Barkley. Ain't nothing happened, folks. They got beat. They got beat by the plumber crew that you guys call plumbers, Utah Jazz. Okay, what about Scottie Pippen, Barkley, and Hakeem? Nope. They got rolled up out of their prime. When you're talking about 10 years, that's you guys don't see, LeBron fans don't understand basketball. 10 years in the league, you're out of your prime. Your legs don't move the same. Stuff just, you don't jump the same. Yes, you can still keep playing, but you really need more help than what you had. That's why Michael Jordan, he wasn't Air Jordan when he came back to the second three-peat. Mike had to play with skills, footwork. It reminds you of Kobe. in his second leg, right? When he won those 2 championships, that wasn't Air Kobe. Well, you're nothing close. He was playing like Michael Jordan on the second three-peat. So that's what I'm just trying to explain to the Kobe fans, or not the Kobe fans, LeBron fans. Just because you put a big 3 together, that don't mean they're going to dominate. You had Shaq, you had Wade, you had Mourning, you had Gary Payton. 1 championship in 1 finals appearance. They were together for like 4 years. Not that Wade was old, but the rest of these guys were old. So going back to that, gold 2007, gold 2008, plus a finals appearance, 2009, finals appearance championship, 2010, finals appearance championship, no top 75 teammate, no Shaq on LeBron's opponents. Checkmate, folks. It's over. It was signed, sealed, delivered, folks. LeBron James could never top what Kobe did in that 4-year span. Nothing. There's nothing he can do. That was on a what Kobe did from 2007 to 2010 was on the level of greatness of what Michael Jordan did in the 90s, winning 6 championships, on the level of Bill Russell dominating the 60s, on the level Wilt Chamberlain doing what? Being the greatest basketball player of all time, right? The real stat guy, the real stat king. Dominance. Kareem dominating the 70s as far as MVPs, on the level of the Lakers dominating the 80s, on the level of Magic Johnson and Bird bringing the NBA back off of life support in the 80s. On the level of that greatness, folks. Okay? LeBron has never had that greatness that Kobe Bryant did in that 4-year span. Never. And he went and built those super teams. That's why he already knew he could never do what Kobe Bryant did. Never. Kobe Bryant was on another level. No nonsense approach. He wouldn't be one of the greatest. The guys that I mentioned that are my top 5 players, and Kobe's not in there. Now, I think if he would have went to the Hornets, like I told you, his career would have started different. I think he would have had the most points in NBA history. He would have had more accolades. But when we look at what Jordan was, who is number 1, to me, what Wilt Chamberlain was, and Kobe Bryant even said Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest player of all time. I know he says Michael Jordan, but, he says in his eyes, him, Michael Jordan, and Wilt Chamberlain. Okay? And that's why I try to tell you guys at the beginning. It's just not all about championships, folks. It's not. It's not just about championships. Or what Kareem is one of the greatest offensive players and defensive players of all time. Right? And then we take Bill Russell, one of the greatest defenders of all time, if not the greatest leader. And this guy got 5 MVPs, folks. You think this guy is going to be out of my top 5? And he would have had at least, 5 defensive player of the year and maybe 4 block titles. And, he's got 4 rebound titles, 11 championships. You're not going to pry this guy out of my top 10. He comes in at number 4. And Magic Johnson is number 5. And we talked about that before. How do you deal with that? With Kareem on your team. Kareem, 6-time MVP. And Magic Johnson wins 3 MVPs? Well, I think he won. Hold on. I think he won 1 without Kareem, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he won 2 and 3 finals MVPs. How do you... 2 steals titles and I think 4 assist titles. Look, guys. And I didn't even go through the other guys' statistical titles. We know about Wilt, 7 scoring titles. He would have had like 5 defensive player of the years. He's got 11 rebound titles. Would maybe have about 5 block titles or more. When we talk about positional basketball, we're talking about offense and defense. Kobe was great, but he's not better than the guys I just mentioned. And no, Magic Johnson isn't a defensive player, but I just told you. He won 3 MVPs. Well, let's just say 2 with Magic. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But he won 3 Finals MVPs, folks, with Kareem on the team. With this, this ain't no one-on-one game. Yes, he probably would beat Magic one-on-one. Kobe would, but this is a team game, folks. The reason why Kobe isn't in my top 5 is because, again, he started his career late. He came off the bench. He wasn't a number 1 until he got away from Shaq. And that really hurt his statistical titles and other things. But I'm not going to be mad if you could put Kobe at number 1. But I'm just telling you, he can't be over those guys. I just don't see it. They just got too much more than him. I just can't. And I heard somebody hating on Magic, said he wasn't a defensive player. Then why's he got 2 steals titles? And Magic shot 50% or more all of his career. 7 rebounds per game. Shot in the 80s for his career. This guy was pretty much Magic money every time this guy had the ball. That was off the chain. All you got to do is pull up Magic highlights, and there you got it, folks. Went back to the finals without Kareem. What else you want? But we're not really here to debate that. We're here to debate that Kobe Bryant is a far superior player than LeBron James. The only thing that LeBron James has on Kobe Bryant is what? Maybe he's a better passer. And Kobe will tell you that all day. Okay, Kobe averages what? 4, what's he average? 4 rebounds or something like that? Okay, he's a shooting guard. What's he supposed to average? You guys don't understand positional basketball. So the center is supposed to have the most rebounds, and then it's supposed to be the power forward, then it's supposed to be the forward, and then it's supposed to be the guard. The shooting guard. So why is Kobe supposed to be having all these rebounds? He's not, folks. You guys don't understand that. That's it. That's all he's better than LeBron is better than him at rebounding. And Kobe ain't for his position. He's not a bad rebounder or assist. Now, LeBron, for his position and his height, he's a horrible rebounder. 7 rebounds a game. It's not good, folks. It's not good. And when we break down the assists, they're good. They're not great, and they're not upper echelon. Great will be, I would say, about 8 to 9. Upper echelon is 10 plus, folks. That's what it is. 27 points. Okay. I would say that's great. But it's not upper echelon. So that's why when you look at what he's got, 1 assist title and 1 scoring championship, that's why. Because he's never great or upper echelon. Right? But Kobe Bryant spoiled the show. And we talk about the last of the Mohicans. That's who it was. Those last guys that really came up out of the 90s. Your Jason Kidds, your Steve Nashes, and the guys who capped it off was the Dirk Nowinskis, the Tim Duncans, and the Kobe Bryants. That was the end of basketball, folks. That was the end of real competitive basketball. And it seems so fitting that they did it on LeBron James, right? Dirk beat LeBron's super team. Tim Duncan won twice on LeBron James and blew him out in 2 of those finals. And Kobe Bryant sat patiently waiting for LeBron James to show up. But all Kobe saw was LeBron's opponents who weren't supposed to be making the finals, and Kobe had to defeat him and bring home the championship that LeBron couldn't bring home. Because why? We all know to this day that LeBron James was scared to play Kobe. LeBron James said in the beginning of 2009-2010 season, he was going to wear the number 6 the next season and take off the number 23. Well, so he already knew he was going to Miami to wear the number 6. He already knew, folks. And he was scared to death of Kobe. You seen it in the videos, right? So he built this super team just in case he had to run into Kobe again. And the media could make up an excuse and they could, oh, see, this is Kobe's 4th time in the finals in 2011. LeBron James had no choice. You heard what Dwayne Wade said, right? Dwayne Wade was on record saying Kobe was winning, man. We had to do this. LeBron James in the decision. This gives me my best chance to build a super team against Kobe. That's what they said. So the media, this would be their excuse if Kobe made it back to the finals for the 4th time in a row in 2011, that these guys had no other choice but to build a super team on Kobe. That's how good he was. So if they beat Kobe, they'll be like, still, well, we had no other choice. If they lost to Kobe, see, we had no other choice. You see how that works? They wouldn't say it was bad what he did because they never said it in the first place. They never said he was a loser. Never said he was a coward. Never said he took the easy way out. None of that. Remember the decision? You didn't ever hear the owners. They really went against it. Players for the most part. The media. Nothing really. Nothing really, because they knew. They knew LeBron James wasn't no leader. He was just a great player. He wasn't no leader. And he was scared to play Kobe because the whole GOAT debate would be over if he lost to Kobe. And Kobe was going to destroy him. And they were good friends. But Kobe was going to literally destroy this guy. Because Kobe had to hear all this stuff about this guy. All this stuff. And those MVPs going to LeBron James in the easy East. Come on, man. How could you give this guy 2 MVPs in the easy East? And then when he builds a super team, you give him the East done got even weaker because the big 3, they pretty much walking around with walkers on the court. That was the only good team still in the 210s with his super team, right? When he was with Miami. So you give him back-to-back MVPs on a super team with no competition in the East, and they only won the conference 1 time together? It's a joke, folks. So basically, they had to make a career for this guy and make greatness for this guy off of stats, right? Not leading a team, not being a clutch player, not, getting the torch passed to him organically like the other players did, right? We never heard, well, actually, we kind of did hear that in the 2000s, that the torch was going to get passed to LeBron James. But because he went and built this super team and was melting down with the number 1 seeds, it never got passed to him. So the media felt like, man, what Kobe did, in that 4-year period, gold, finals appearance, championship, finals appearance, championship. Man, what are we going to do? And then he just got destroyed into 2011, LeBron James. This whole GOAT debate the NBA just wants something to talk about. And they've been lying straight to their fans' face because you can see how different the media was back then in the 2000s and how LeBron James is. You got to remember one thing about this guy. If you listen to his interviews and his persona and his demeanor, everything in the 2000s, LeBron James wanted to be liked. He was the funny guy. He didn't like criticism, nothing like that. Kobe would tell you that. Him and Kobe were good friends. So when he went to Miami, he had to play this villain, had to play this bad guy to win championships, or he would never win championships, folks. He just didn't have it in him. And he's been playing somebody, been put on a facade for all these years since he went to Miami. And he doesn't care to act like this bad guy when he's really not. As long as the media can lie. And look, he's not exclusively, we just can't single him out because it's the media wants this or has wanted this to go on like this because Kobe ruined everything, folks. There's nothing to talk about. So they have to fabricate something that ain't there. You can't look at the eye test and see none of this stuff that the media is talking about. You can't. So if the media wasn't talking about it, it won't be there. The media didn't have to talk about this for Kobe Bryant. LeBron James talked about it in the 2000s for Kobe Bryant. The media didn't have to talk about this. You saw it with the eye test. What Kobe was and who Kobe was and who he wasn't, right? Kobe was a no-nonsense type of guy. And to me, that's, he got this from other guys. Got it from the Wilt Chamberlains, the Michael Jordans, the Magic Johnsons, and the Bill Russells, and the Kareems. You can't be that great like these players were unless you were no nonsense type of guys. And there's other guys like that. When we talk about the Tim Duncans, you got to put Tim Duncan in front of LeBron. Tim Duncan was a no nonsense type of guy. That's why him and Pops got along. These guys, when you want to be greater than those other guys that's up there on the mantle, it's cool to have fun, but you still got to come with a no nonsense type of approach, and that's not exactly being a butthole. That means going in and working on your craft, not just say, "Oh, I'm better than all these other guys, man. This and that." No, you still got to work on your craft for certain moments, certain games, certain times when this stuff happens. Get your team ready and stuff like that. LeBron James is more like, let's have fun. We can beat him off of athleticism. And he knew the league was getting weaker, man. And he's a great athletic freak. And it only took him about 4 years to get ahead of like a lot of these guys that was in the league. But still, remember, there's other great guys that were in the league, and the game is 5-on-5. So if you can't get your team to play in the right moments, and you always just got the ball, and you want to do every single thing, and then expect them to do something in a clutch, they're going to be like, okay, huh? No. Team got to be clutch too. You just can't be clutch by yourself. But in the clutch moments, you're not clutch. You can't expect them to be clutch if you always been doing everything the whole game or every game. So I don't know what else to say. It's a fake GOAT debate, guys. He'll tell you all. There's nothing that LeBron James did from since he went to Miami until now where he passed Kobe Bryant. Did Shaq win back-to-back championships? No, did Shaq go to 3 straight championships without Kobe? Nope. Did Shaq win back-to-back championships without Kobe? Nope. Did Kobe do that? Yes, folks. Did LeBron do that with only one top 75 teammate go back-to-back and go to 3 straight championships? No, folks. LeBron, without a super team. LeBron could never do that, man. Kobe Bryant basically cemented himself. And you guys can put him number 1, number 5. I'm not mad. But I'm just looking at the whole body of work from the other guys. That's all I'm doing. And Kobe's up there with those guys. Maybe you can put Kobe 1A and 1B with Bill Russell, something like that, or whoever with Magic. But LeBron James is not. LeBron James is not in that top 10, man. He ruined his career when he went to Miami. So you guys tell me what you think. The GOAT debate is fraudulent. It's fake.